Caroline coming through with the new water bottle that's matching with her t-shirt.
And where's your one? I had to keep up with it with my little cups I kept having. Yeah, boy!
We're hydrated. We are well hydrated, fam. Welcome. Episode number 12 of the Claiming Your Success Conversations with Caroline and Sabrina podcast. Episode number 12, which means the end of season 1. Right here, right now. Can you believe it?
I can't believe, and I can believe because, oh my gosh, this has just been so good. So just so much to learn, even about myself. Like that was a very challenging. I can't believe it was just 6 weeks. Are you serious? Are you serious? September, October. Yeah.
And isn't it crazy how, like, the thing that I got out of this time is the time is going to pass us by anyway, right? Time is passing us by anyway. We're over here like saying, I'll get to that when I X, Y, and Z thing, or when it's better timing, when things aren't so crazy, then I'll do ABC thing. And it's like, why are you procrastinating on your joy?
What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? And honestly, like the timing of this, and I've said this to Caroline, I've shared it on my socials a couple of times, the timing of this has been almost like a divine intervention for me. Because I've had something so positive and so wonderful to focus my energy on over 6 weeks they've been like, I don't even have the word.
I was going to go like this, but then my arms started going like the crazy wacky it's like, blow up.
Those crazy wacky clown things are outside. They're always outside car dealerships here in the US, but those things, and it's been like a roller coaster and things imploding, and it's just been crazy. And so I share that just to say we started this podcast because we wanted to take you on a journey, everyone listening, of what it can look like when you just say yes, when you just go for the things that are on your heart to do, when you just do them, not waiting for it to be perfect, not waiting for it to, timing to be just right, but just go for it and then see what can happen. That's why we started it. And for it to really have given us what it's given us in the last 6 weeks of having something so wonderful to focus on, even when things have been hard. And I think that's the message, right? Because life never gets easier. And I feel like we procrastinate on things and we put off things because we're waiting for better timing. We're waiting for life to be less crazy after the holiday season, in the new year, when kids get off school, when kids go back to school, after I finish vacation, when life isn't so crazy. Like, when is any of that?
How do you know when it's going to be perfect? None of that sounds like it's perfect, so you have to just do. And on that note, Sabrina, what are we going to be talking about today?
I feel like we should do kind of like a semi wrap up of our season. And also I would love each of us to share like the one thing that we wish we knew before we started our business that we now know that could help somebody else shorten their learning curve.
Shall I share now?
Sure.
Yeah? Because I'm going to share, I want to share this now. And I feel like it's I've said it a couple of times, right? But I didn't really understand the message to begin with either, and I'm going to sound like a broken record. Treat your business like a business. It's going to serve, I don't want to say pay you. I'm going to say it's going to serve you how a business should serve you. You treat it like a hobby. It's going to serve you how a hobby will treat you, And then just one that will tie in with that, treat your business like a job. And then even that, treat it like a baby. That's something you touched on, on the last episode. We have to treat our business like this in order to have the success we want. And it is and exactly like that, exactly how work is, exactly how it is having a child, having a baby. That's how your business is going to be to begin with. And exactly like Sabrina says on that podcast, you can't just be like, yep, that's it. Not going to look after the baby today. I'm not going to be a mum walking away. I'm not going to do X, Y, Z. That's how you need to treat your business. Sabrina, otherwise that'll be a whole podcast episode in itself.
Well, I feel like we need to labor on that point a little bit more because how much of people's success is tied up by them doing it when they feel like doing it?
Or showing up when it literally is all going well. Honestly, I could tell you about 5 people I've seen over the last 2 hours of only showing up because it's all going well, and I'm like, yeah, that's great. But where were you last week? Where were you the week before? You didn't show up for a whole month because of that one thing, and now you're showing up. What are you gonna do when you actually have a real problem? Sorry, because that wasn't a real problem that I'm talking about with that individual. You know, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, same. It's like that inconvenience exposes commitment thing that we talked about, that Trent Shelton quote that was so good. And I know Caroline like loved it. But it really is, because I feel like if more people had the ability to really, I don't know where it comes from with me. Like Gio, my husband, he says it to me all the time. He's like, you're like a machine. You just do it. Like you just do it regardless. And I'm like, yeah. I don't really know where it comes. Actually, I have maybe a clue. I think the clue about where that level of drive comes from is I know what I don't want my life to be.
It's that. And we play that in our head, I feel. Because I'm the same as you, Sabrina. Sorry to interrupt you, because I'm the same, you know? Especially when I look at other store managers and I'm like, why am I so different? Because it's not that I'm so different. I'm just prepared to go above and beyond to get the success that I know I deserve. So then is it tying back into people's belief with themselves? Oh my God, we're going to go in a big circle on this podcast, I think, you know?
I think so.
Because the ones that
you just...
Yeah, go on.
No, you go.
I think it's gone now.
Okay. Gio and I were watching a movie last night, Maxine. Have you seen it?
No.
So X was the first movie. It's a horror movie, right? X, where it's like
I can't do horror no more. I can't do no horror.
That old woman that just like goes on this rampage. Anyway, so X is movie number 1. Pearl is movie number 2, but it's a prequel. So you're supposed to watch Pearl, then X, and Maxine is the third installment of the trilogy. So we watched Maxine last night, and I'm not going to give away the storyline in case anybody's watched it, but one of the things that is like a thing that her dad used to say to her that has driven like her drive, like she's an aspiring Hollywood actress and whatever, and it was, I will not accept a life less than I deserve. I will not accept a life less than I deserve, or something along those lines. And even though it was in the context of a horror movie, every time I heard those words, I was like, man, I think that's it. I think that's it. It's not accepting a life that's not what you deserve, and not coming from a place of like, the world owes me something, or I deserve X, Y, like from a very kind of like,
because that's not
finger pointery place, not like that, but truly as a human being who has all the capacity in the world. We have all the ability in the world. If you think about the probability of us existing, however many sperm went to meet the egg, and the probability of you existing on this planet, plus the fact that we're human beings on a rock that's floating in the middle of like the air, like it's miraculous, the fact that we exist. And so with that knowledge, it's like, why are you telling yourself that you can't do, you can't be, you can't have? And notice you're telling yourself that, which creates that reality. So it's really being in this place to think, man, all that I have the possibility of being, I have the possibility of being that down and out person. I have the possibility of being everything that everyone thinks that I'm worthy of, maybe. I have the possibility of being the statistic that I've been fighting so hard to not be. So if I have the possibility of being all of that, what is on the other side of that? Because I also have the possibility of that too. Does that make sense?
That makes so much sense, because, you know, been there, done that. Got the book. That was me pre the entrepreneurial journey, right? I literally had lost something I was going to say. It was going back to what you was taken away from this. Did you finish off? Because I know I interrupted. Sorry, I know I do a lot.
No. I love interrupting, because that's what we do when we have conversations with people, right? But no, it was just that piece about having that drive and that ability to just keep going and do the things and show up even when we don't feel like it, even when it's not convenient, even when, you know, we're having a crappy day or we're going through a bad season, right? Like we can't always take our foot off the gas of doing what is necessary to build our business just because we're going through a hard time. Like, not to be discompassionate or to lack empathy for anyone's struggle. I don't. I have a lot of empathy for the struggle. I just don't have a lot of sympathy for the excuses, honestly, because there's people out there doing more with less. And so what excuse can we possibly have? If the dream is on your heart, it was put there for a reason. And if it's big enough for you to want it, then it should be big enough for you to do what is necessary to go for.
If the dream is on your heart, it was put there for a reason. Oh my gosh. I love that. Never heard that. Where did you
You've never heard that?
No.
I've heard that. I don't know where I heard it for the first time. But yeah, it's just such a powerful thought. And how many, like Caroline and I, we've talked about this a lot, but how many people don't go after the dreams that are on their heart because they're afraid of what people will think of them, or like they're afraid of failing, or they don't believe in themselves. We talked about that kind of stuff. But the fear of what other people will think of them, like I get it as a concept because we're tribal creatures, right? Like back in the day when we used to run away from saber-toothed tigers and we'd have to like figure out how to survive, then yeah, being ostracized and being out there in the ether by yourself was literally life or death, right? So I get it, but our brains are still wired for that survival in a society where that level of survival is no longer, for most people, the biggest primary concern. So all of this where we're so worried about what other people will think of us, and that's why we don't do X, Y, and Z thing, because we're afraid of being ostracized or being kicked out of the tribe. Like that thinking doesn't apply anymore. So why do we still operate from that?
Me and Sabrina was just talking about my birthday, and to the point where, sorry, this is where it's going to all follow up. Woo, woo, woo. Because one thing I'd said to Sabrina was, there's people I've known for plus 10 years that didn't actually wish me a happy birthday, or wish me a happy birthday when they got the Facebook reminder or when they saw the post I put up when it was like, actual fact, you should have been the first person to message me because you've known me for plus 10 years. And then it's recognizing the people that have known me for even a couple of years, even some people just this year. And they've gone more out of their way to make sure they told me happy birthday, you know? Sabrina, I had someone message me today. They thought my birthday was today, right? But then they went to my store yesterday and dropped me off a present. Ask me if I saw this person the whole of the last 2 years, you know? And it's that I've now recognized the energy, even that the people who I was scared of to show up with on my social media in front of, there are a whole bunch of those people that didn't wish me happy birthday yesterday. And they still want to call me their friend. Some of them their best friend, you know? And those are the people that I was scared of. Those are the people that were actually stopping me from chasing my dreams and goals. Those are the people that sometimes I still think, oh my gosh, you actually like something of mine, or you don't like my things, and it's all of that. And actually, guys, recognizing the people are actually there for you and are meant to be there for you, because it's that. Especially if you're afraid to show up how you want to show up in front of people that are meant to be your friends. Guess what? They're not your friends. They're not your friends, because you should be able to show up how you want to show up and still have their support and their guidance. So it's down to when you think about, sorry, now I'm going to go off on one. You think about, you know, it's like your friends don't have, it's not friends supporting you by buying something from you or signing up and joining you. Friends supporting you just by sharing your post, liking your post, commenting on how well you're doing. I can probably tell you, I've got 10 people who how I used to call my 10 best closest friends, right? I can only tell you one of them has ever told me well done for how well I'm doing over these past 4 years. Yes, thumbs up. We're going to have that thumbs up.
We're going to claim that thumbs up.
My OG of my bestie, the only one that I would call my bestie, that comes out of my mouth. She's the only one that has actually been there for me throughout this whole journey, and who I would call a best friend, and just give me so much support. And it's even that now. I even had I'm going off again. I even had a call with someone who's in Italy this morning. And I literally said to her, I'm so sorry. I'm planning to go out to Italy. We've been Instagram friends for like 4 years now. And I'm like, I'm so sorry I haven't come to you. I haven't even spoke to her for the last 6 months. Why? Because I was putting my energy in the wrong place. I was putting my energy in the wrong place. And I said, nope, I'm just putting a stop to that now. My big 35-year-old eyes are seeing it now. I'm seeing it. Not happening. So we have to recognize the energy. Sorry, you go. Now you go.
No, I was gonna ask you a follow-up question to that, because I think what you just described is maybe what some people are afraid of, is that they think if I go out there and do what it is that I want to do, people are going to stop being my friend and whatever, and my big circle of 10, 5, 10, whatever is going to turn into one. What happens then? What would you say to people that have that thought, having
Literally just
experienced that
writing.
yourself?
That's where you really have to work on your mindset, guys, to be prepared to stand alone. Be prepared to stand alone, because that's what's going to happen. You are going to feel alone, and you will be standing alone. And there's a saying my dad has said, it will come to me soon, right? I don't know, but like now it's just coming to me, leaders aren't afraid to walk alone. And that's the whole point, right? You have to, and then it's just that you recognize they're not your people, and you're going to find the people that were meant to be for you.
That part. I think that's the bit. It's being prepared to stand alone, because the people that are not meant for you will start to exit, right?
Yep.
They'll start to self kind of exit, and being prepared to have those moments in the in-between. Yep. It's the in-between.
That's it, the in-between. Right? It is the in-between.
It's that bit where you've kind of sloughed off what is no longer meant for you, and you're waiting for what is. It's that in-between. It's only it's such a short period of time, honestly, and it will be beyond worth it once you have the people in your life that were always meant for you. It's beyond worth it. It's
like, so now the first thing that comes into my head, which is probably the most obvious one, is going to be, it is friendships, relationships, where people step back into that environment because it's comfortable, because it's familiar, you know, and it's that you have to be prepared to just let it go. And sorry, then another Frozen song came into my head, Into the Unknown. I don't know if you've seen number 2, but I'm a Frozen fan. Yes. Into the unknown. And it's that, you know, people are so scared of being in the unknown, being in limbo. We need to, I don't know, we need to get more comfortable with being there and just having our me time. And even like when now people have come out of lockdown, I think I kind of got trained and got used to being alone because of lockdown. But then that was where I used that with your mentorship as well and guidance, you know, to be the better me. And that was, and even that's kind of where people, it was either you're going to elevate or you're going to, what's the word for not elevate? I was going to say de-elevate. Sink, literally. Yeah. And that's what happened.
It's so funny because I'm thinking about that, like into the unknown and that in-between thing. And I think like since we're on this side of it, yes, it's easy for us to say, right? But still, you know, being very clear about how things were before, I can still say that, would you not prefer to have, like, what kind of relationship would you prefer? Being in friendships where people behind your back, this is my literal experience, behind your back, they tell you that they're your friends, blah, 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 but behind their back, they're making fun of you for what it is that you're stepping into, for you actually going after the dreams that you have. They're ridiculing the things that you're doing, making fun of what you're sharing on social media, whatever, but to your face, they're your friend, right? Would you rather stay in that relationship, or would you rather allow that relationship to exit itself, step into the unknown of that in between, and then be in relationships that you develop because your new elevation of your self-worth, right? Who now it is that you're in circles with, now it is that you're in conversation with, have friendships of people that will talk, like mention your name in rooms that you're not even in, that will help open doors for you because they're so willing to mention you when they hear an opportunity that they think you would be fabulous at, that will never admire quietly. They always cheering for you and telling you how great they think you're doing, right? Or so there's that possibility, or being in relationships with friends who will ridicule you behind your back if you dare have a difference of opinion or a difference of action than they would take. Which one would you choose?
To the left, okay, so it's my left, might be your right, but
Your left is
yeah,
my right.
yeah.
Yeah.
To your right, do you know what I mean? That's where I'm going, but I know that probably wasn't me, 4 years ago, so it is a journey. There was something I was going
What
to
do you
say
think it is that had like got you on that journey and got you to the other side of that now, where you're in different relationships?
It's going to be the success I had along the way, recognizing that actually I can take control of my life and achieve more than what I thought. It's what my own brain thought, what I thought it was just the norm. And knowing I can go after more, and I can claim my own success. That's literally what I've gone through the last 4.5 years, and it does take that, especially identifying where you have had your wins throughout your journey. Because I didn't even, what was it? It was only when it was 2022 that I'd realised at that point, that was 6 years in Echo. And when I had to just relay back all the things I'd done with Echo, I was like, hold up a minute. I didn't know I'd done that much with Echo. And that was till I actually put pen to paper, So what about yourself?
I think exactly what you just alluded to it. And it's the name of our podcast, right? Claiming your success, not finding your success, not like building your success, not hammering and chiseling your success, claiming it. Claim
maybe
it.
I'll have success. Maybe no.
Claim it.
You have to.
Claim it. Make a declaration. There's a book that I read during the pandemic. It was called There's No Plan B for Your A Game. And I've shared this a lot. And I've probably said
share that with me. I've
probably said it multiple times in multiple places for the people that are listening. There's no plan B for your A game. I've read that book like 5 or 6 times. I've listened to it. I don't even know how many times, because it's all about the power of a declaration. Making a declaration for your life is different than setting a goal or saying maybe one day. When you declare that this is what is going to happen, not only are you now putting it out there that this is what is going to happen, so now you have this kind of like, I have to do something now. But there's also a shift in your energy when you make a declaration, as opposed to when you say, oh, maybe that will happen someday. Can you notice the difference? When you make a declaration versus, oh, maybe, there's a difference. There's a difference. And what claiming your success means to me is the declaration. I'm claiming that this is what my life is going to be. And because I claim that, everything that comes along to either teach me, grow me, strengthen me, including the struggle, including the hard times, including the breakdown of relationships, including the failures, including all the moments where I think I can't do it, there's no way, and I fall down on my knees and I'm crying and I don't know what to do. All of those moments, they're all part of the building, right? When you claim it.
There was a quote, and I'm pretty sure it's from this book. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because it's definitely one of the books you told me to read. And this one has still stuck with me from when I read it a whole 2.5 years ago. Are you a fan or are you a player? Listen, that was such an eye-opening moment for me as well, because then it's that as well. Hundreds of thousands of people go to watch football, basketball, netball, tennis, whatever it is the players are. How many people are actually playing? What, 10? A hand? Sitting in the crowd with, no. I want to be the one that people are cheering for. So even that, as you're listening to this, as I've just said that, and you're thinking about it now, where do you actually want to be sitting? On the stands or in the changing rooms? I know where I want to be. And that's the type, and if that's the case, exactly how they show up to get them in the changing rooms is how you got to show up for your business. How you got to show up for you.
Oh my God, I could run with a sports analogy until the cows come home. And I think, I don't know what it is. I think it's my inner athlete just wants to like jump out and just be like, yeah. Because I think
I used to play tag rugby, sorry. They taught it to us. I was doing it all wrong.
But it's exactly that. It's like, we all sit there and admire the people that are doing it, right? Whether it's the athletes, the actresses, the writers, the singers, the performers, the artists, whoever. We admire the people that are out there doing it. They're living their craft, they're living their dream, they're in it. What stops you from doing that same thing? Yes, you may not be a world-class athlete, but I bet you've got a world-class brain that needs, you know, the next innovation in our world, in tech or whatever, needs that idea that you're keeping inside your head because you don't think that you can. How dare you?
We all have a gift, and we've all been put here with a gift. It's just some of us are choosing to utilize and share it. We all need to.
Notice Caroline's words. Some of us are choosing to use it, and some of us aren't. Not choosing is a choice.
Yes.
Not doing it is a choice.
Snap.
Not doing it is a choice, right? And I was in the shower yesterday. I do my best thinking in the shower. I don't know if anybody else is like that. I do my best thinking in the shower, and in the shower is also where I cuss people out. You know, when you wanna like have that conversation, but you don't say it when it happens. I do it in the shower, so I get it out. I get it out.
That is so good.
Out in the shower. So anyway, I was in the shower and I was thinking.
Sorry, I now just thought of Gio walking past and just hearing. He's like, "Wait, what's talking to me?"
Like, oh shit, she had a bad day. It's even worse when it's a hair wash day, as it was yesterday. I've got more time in there too. So anyway, too much information into Sabrina's naked time. But anyway, yesterday I was in the shower and I was thinking about how people don't make a choice, or they'll sit on the sidelines of a decision because they're saying, "Oh, I don't want to choose." No, that's a choice.
Yep.
Deciding not to do something is a decision. Not answering somebody's message is a choice. You know, like how when people say, just keep following up, even if they've never answered you ever, keep following up, because one day they'll respond. No, not responding is a response.
Literally the biggest response ever.
Do you know what I mean? So it's really understanding that we all have the power of choice, and none of us are free from the consequences of the choices that we make, whether that's in what you do or what you don't do. Didn't we talk about it last week too, about how if you decide that you're not going to go for it, you have to just let it go. Yeah. Not become bitter, not become resentful. Just let that dream go.
And be okay with it.
Because you chose that. So if that doesn't feel good to you to do that, make a different choice that does feel good.
Yes. That's the universe. That's God telling you, nope, something ain't right. Something in there. That's your passion. That is, if dream is on your heart, it's there for a reason. That is what that is. Where did that? I blinked. And it says
I blinked. I just looked at the time and it's 29 minutes. I was like, what?
We
only just started.
Yeah, what?
Oh, man.
But this isn't a goodbye.
It's not a goodbye. Hell no. We're just getting warmed up. I'm almost like, why didn't we go old school? You know, like the old school series where there were like 25 episodes per season.
Not this like old school.
8 to 12 episodes per season in these new shows. It's like back in the day with like, I'm going to age myself mega, but like I'm watching Lost again right now. So that's 25 episodes per season. Smallville. Did you ever watch Smallville?
No.
Oh my God, Smallville is so good. That's 20 something episodes. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, 20 something episodes. Like we need to go back to that. But for now, 12 episodes in season 1 of the Claiming Your Success podcast, and we're done. But
we are done.
For now.
Because you will see us again. This is just for now. Sorry. That's it. Started. Just for now. Yeah, we just started. And I feel like we're just warming up. The cake's only not even touched the oven yet. Because we've got so much gold, so much like value from especially everyone from what they've been saying. I'm starting to now notice more on what people need from these podcasts. Like, fire's coming in 2025 and you do not want to put this out.
It'll be so good. So, where to keep up to date with us until season 2 launches? Instagram, Facebook.
Yep.
website,
TikTok,
YouTube, TikTok, all the places, all the social media platforms we're super active on. So come and hang out with us, say hi. If you have questions about any of the content we put out here for this podcast, please feel free to reach out, ask more questions. It will give us more ideas for further conversations that we can have in the future too.
Yes.
And that's it. Until next time.
Till next time. Is that the new
See you
year?
later,
Oh my gosh, I